That's right, you.
The July 15th, 2024 work session. This is not a work session. This is a regular session, correct?
Sorry, Mayor. Yeah, regular.
Regular session of the Township Committee is now called to order. Everyone please rise and join me in the flag salute. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. This meeting is being held in accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act, Public Law 1975, Chapter 231. Notice of this meeting was published in the Burlington County Times and the Courier Post on January 8th, 2024. Roll call, Madam Secretary.
Yes, Mayor. Mr. Horner.
Here.
Mr. McGill.
Here.
Mr. Seacrest.
Here.
Deputy Mayor Crable.
Present.
Mayor Kondo.
Here.
Thank you.
Okay, committee liaison reports. We'll start with Committee Member Horner with Finance and Economic Development.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I am happy to say tonight I do have quite a few updates. I know it's been some time since I've had a comprehensive update, so I'm looking forward to sharing some information with the committee and also with the members of the public. First, I'm pleased to report that the Chick-fil-A redevelopment project is back on schedule. The two private landowners have resolved their differences, and their combined commitment and collaboration has allowed for the restart of the demolition of the 4 homes along Route 130, as well as the start of site work. The township is encouraged that the parties worked out their issues without quite a bit of township involvement, and we are looking forward to the project moving forward in the near future. Also aware there's been some publicity about the opening of Bath & Body Works, the shops in Cinnaminson. We did have the grand opening. Unfortunately, the business was delayed in opening due to some fire safety measures not being completed in accordance with the Uniform Construction Code. As of today, the contractors were working on these deficiencies, and we're hoping that the store will open either tomorrow or Wednesday. The Goodwill Donation Center has opened. We remind the public that this is a drop-off facility only, and the Zoning Board of Adjustment has placed a number of restrictions on their operations to ensure that the setting along Route 130 is not diminished. We will continue to monitor Goodwill so that this standard is being maintained. Freddy's Frozen Custard and Steak Burgers at the old Acme location is nearing completion. Stay tuned for an update on a grand opening. And also, one of our favorite businesses, Stout & Caldwell Engineers, has merged with a national architectural engineering company. We'd like to wish Bob, Dan, and the entire team well. We note that they will be relocating their office, and the former Lancaster Dress building is seeking a new tenant. We will provide our assistance. We still are going to continue to look for the correct reuse of the former Long's Automotive, and as well as our warehouse in Box Park located on Taylor's Lane. Lastly, in the coming weeks, the first of 2 fully permitted cannabis manufacturing and warehousing facilities will open. Both these products will generate significant additional tax revenue to support various unfunded projects in our committee. While we recognize that this type of business has been somewhat controversial, I applaud Deputy Mayor Crable and her subcommittee, along with the entire Township Committee, in striking the proper balance, minimizing the impact of our business, corridor, homes, churches, and schools. Cinnaminson has legislatively implemented strong restrictions requiring that these facilities be located within our industrial zone and only providing limited retail operation and only as a part of manufacturing or a warehousing structure, unlike some of our neighboring communities. Mr. Mayor, that concludes my report for this evening. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Committee Member Horner. Committee Member Segrist, Public Works.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Just a quick reminder for residents that Interstate Waste Services, or IWS, is the township's new trash collection contractor. For any concerns or missed collections, please contact either the Public Works Department at 856-829-6703 or IWS directly at 866 Dial IWS. That's DIAL-IWS. Road construction of Morgan Avenue is anticipated to begin the week of July 29th. Construction limits are from Villager Avenue to Cleveland Avenue. The work is being completed through a 2023 NJDOT Trust Fund grant secured by Township Committee. This work includes select curb and apron replacement to aid in drainage inlet structures, as well as milling and paving. Road construction of Taylor's Lane is anticipated to begin the week of August 12th. Construction limits are from Route 130 to Broad Street. This work is being completed through a 2022 NJDOT Local Freight Impact grant secured by Township Committee. This work includes select curb and apron replacement for drainage as well as milling and paving. As previously reported, the Township has ordered canopies to be installed at the new passive area in East Riverton Park. Due to a manufacturing delay, the equipment has yet to be delivered. Today, the Public Works Department was provided with a new shipment date of July 25th. Upon receipt, the Public Works Department will immediately schedule installation, anticipated the beginning of August. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. That concludes my report.
Thank you, Committee Member Segrist. Committee Member McGill, Public Safety.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Due to recent incidents which occurred in Wildwood, Gloucester Township, and Pennsauken Township, the police department was on heightened alert during the St. Charles Carnival. Security was augmented. As a result, there was just one disturbance at the very end of the event. The incident resulted in the arrest of 2 juveniles. National Night Out is August 6th. This year's event will take place behind the police station in the municipal complex from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Dunk a Cop, hot dogs, ice cream, and other activities are planned. Parking for this event will be available in the municipal lots, the PNC Bank and Veneria Dental parking lots, along with Manor Road. This is a great opportunity for the community to get together and meet the officers of the police department and fire departments. As a safety reminder, there is an ongoing issue throughout Burlington and Camden counties with subjects going to different neighborhoods at night and attempting to open doors of vehicles. As a general reminder, all residents are reminded to protect themselves from theft by locking their vehicle doors and do not leave any valuables and key fobs in the vehicles or anything that anybody can see. Smash the windows. Department statistics for June. Total incidents for June was 2,311. Total arrests made were 35. Total car stops, 126. Total summonses issued, 171. Total DUIs was 5. Finally, the police department would like to acknowledge Officer Dominic Ellie for his handling of a theft case. The case involved a male juvenile who had his cell phone stolen. The family did not have enough money to replace the cell phone, so Officer Ellie took it upon himself to buy the young man a cell phone with his own money. What makes this even more unique is that Officer Ellie did this on his own and did not tell anyone. He did not want any attention for himself, and he did not do it for personal reasons or for personal recognition. His kind gesture is the epitome of why people become police officers and what makes Cinnaminson Township a great community. That's all I have, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Committee Member McGill. Deputy Mayor Cravel, Parks and Recreation and Veterans Affairs.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Our summer concert series kicked off last week with an amazing turnout, probably the largest attended concert that we've probably had to date. So we're looking forward to an exciting and concert season, and hopefully the weather participates. There was a cool breeze at this last Thursday night concert, so don't be deterred if we have weather in the 90 degrees. Performing at this week's coming concert will be Jersey Shakedown, playing rock, indie, and pop hits. A reminder that the concerts are Thursdays at 7 p.m. at Wood Park. The summer tennis lessons will start tomorrow, Tuesday, July 16th at the Wood Park tennis courts. The tennis lessons will continue through mid-August every Tuesday and Thursday. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. That concludes my report.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor Cravel. And myself for Administration and Health and Senior Services. You guys get to hear me talk way too much during these meetings. I have no report this month, which moves us to ordinance introduction. Ordinance 2024-8 is the amending of the Code of Ordinances to repeal Chapter 290 for flood damage prevention, to adopt a new Chapter 290, flood damage prevention, to adopt a new flood hazard maps, to designate a floodplain administrator, and provide for severability and an effective date to be advertised in the Burlington County Times. Public hearing is scheduled for August 19th, 2024. May I have a motion to introduce ordinance 2024-8?
I'll make that motion, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. Segrist. May I have a second?
I'll second that, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. McGill. Roll call vote, please.
Yes, Mayor. Mr. Honor?
Aye.
Mr. McGill?
Aye.
Mr. Seagrass?
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Cravel?
Aye.
Mayor Kondo?
Aye. All right, the consent agenda. We have a few items on the consent agenda. It looks like it's got 6. Resolution 2024-84 is to authorize the release of a performance bond for the Cinnaminson Baptist Church project. Project engineer Remington and Vernick has reviewed the project, performed the necessary inspections, and recommends the release of the performance guarantee in the amount of $15,368.40. Resolution 2024-85 is the appointment of a municipal prosecutor for the remainder of 2024. Proposals were received for municipal prosecutor. Township professionals have reviewed the bids and recommended that the governing body appoint Brendan Moles of the Law Office of Gregg and Moles. Resolution 2024-86 is authorized contract with Atlantic Tactical through the state contract for firearms and equipment. Police Chief Bill Obachowski has secured pricing for the purchase of firearms for the police department. CFO purchasing agent Julia Edmondson has determined that sufficient funding is available in the federal forfeiture account for this purpose and recommends that the governing body authorize the award of contract to state contract vendor Atlantic Tactical in the amount not to exceed $69,000. The total cost will be reduced based on the trade-in value of the current firearms. Resolution 2024-87 authorized the renewal of agreement with Morristown Township for tax support staff. This shared service provides personnel support of the tax assessor's office and has been in place since 2010. Tax assessor Dennis DeClerc recommends that the township extend this agreement for an additional 3-year term through July 31st, 2027. Resolution 2024-88, requesting dedication by rider for stormwater management. The township is in need of creating a dedication by rider trust account to receive anticipated revenues related to stormwater management. Authorization is required by both local municipality and the Division of Local Government Services. Ms. Edmondson recommends authorization by the governing body so the adopted resolution may be forwarded to the division for their review and approval. Resolution 2024-89, authorized budget amendment for grant appropriation, Chapter 159. The township received grant awards in the amount of $48,871.53 from New Jersey Department of Environmental Protection's Clean Communities Program and $6,864.69 from the New Jersey Department of Law and Public Safety Alcohol Education and Rehabilitation Fund. The action will insert additional appropriations into the budget, and Ms. Edmondson recommends the authorization by the governing body. And lastly, we have a raffle for the Morristown Theater Company, Inc. for 10/19/2024. And that's the end of the consent agenda. May I have a motion to open public comment on the consent agenda items only?
I'll make that motion, Mr. Mayor, to open consent agenda items only.
Thank you, Mr. McGill. May I have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you. Voice vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Nays? Abstentions? Okay, public comment on the consent agenda is now open. Please state your name and address for the record.
Good evening, Renee Oler Davis, 2108 Hunter Street. I am curious about two things. One, the stormwater management, what does that entail? And what were the grants given by the EPA? What were they for?
We have the one grant from the Department of Environmental Protection, which is for Clean Communities programs, and that has traditionally funded multiple things, but off the top of my head, I don't know what they are, but you guys do.
The cleanup days.
Oh, just cleanup days, okay. And the other one is for public safety, and that's actually from the New Jersey Department of Law and Public Safety, for alcohol education and the rehabilitation fund, which is, mostly is used for,
DWI.
what's that?
DWI.
Just GWI
Courts.
activities. So they are the two.
And the stormwater entails,
Yeah, I am going to defer. I'm going to defer to Mr. Schubiger and possibly Mr. Barbaduro. It has to do with creating a fund for stormwater management money that may be collected from, well, let me defer to,
I can answer.
okay.
It's just a separate bank account. So we're gonna put any money, because he's ripping up all the old stormwaters, and we're gonna get money for that. So we're gonna put that in there to be able to spend it on new materials.
Directly for that purpose, so it goes in that account for that purpose.
thank you.
Thank you.
You're right, I'm thinking she was asking about
Yeah.
that.
I know, I didn't know what to think.
He even laughed. Kevin even laughed.
I didn't know.
Good evening, everyone. Jamela Shepherd, 215 Front Street in Palmyra, New Jersey, speaking on behalf of the Civic Club of Riverton, East Riverton, and Palmyra. I want to thank Mr. Segrist for answering my first question that I was going to ask about the construction down Union Landing from Broad Street to Route 130. I heard you say curb construction. Does that also include the sidewalk?
I'm sorry, Ms. Shepherd, this is for consent agenda items only.
I'll apologize.
That's okay.
No
Give me
worries.
the signal when it's time to repeat it again.
You got it.
You got it.
All right, now we know. We cheated a little bit.
That's it, see, now you have some time.
Yeah, got the questions to the test ahead of time.
Okay, seeing no one else come forward, may I have a motion to close public comment on the consent agenda?
I'll make that motion.
Thank you. I will second that. Voice vote, please. All in favor? Aye. Nays, abstentions? Okay. Public comment is closed. May I have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Thank you, Ms. Cravel. May I have a second?
Mr. Mayor, I'll second that.
Thank you. I guess we could do a roll call vote here. Or just roll call vote, right?
Thank you. Mr. Horner?
Aye.
Mr. McGill?
Aye.
Mr. Segrist?
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Quavo?
Aye.
Mayor Kondo?
Aye.
Thank you.
Okay, the approval of minutes. I'll make a motion to approve the minutes of June 17th, 2024. May I have a second?
I'll second that, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. McGill. Can we have a roll call vote, please?
Yes, Mr. Horner?
Aye.
Mr. McGill?
Aye.
Mr. Segrist?
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Quavo?
Aye.
Mayor Kondo?
Aye.
Thank you.
May I have a motion to approve the bill list?
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to approve the bill list.
Thank you, Mr. McGill. May I have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Ms. Cravel. Roll call vote, please.
Mr. Horner?
Aye.
Mr. McGill?
Aye.
Mr. Segrist?
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Quavo?
Aye.
Mayor Kondo?
Aye.
Thank you.
All right. Staff and professional comments. Do we have anything from our staff or our professionals this evening? No?
Sir.
Mike, I guess Mike.
So,
Okay.
two things I reported.
May I have a motion to open public comment?
I'll make that motion to open public comment,
Thank you.
Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. McGill. I will second that. Voice vote, all in favor?
Aye.
Nays? Abstentions? Okay, public comment is now open. Please state your name and address for the record. And you already gave us a head start.
Let's start again. I apologize for coming up too early.
No worries.
Once again, my name is Jamela Shepherd, 215 Front Street, Palmyra, New Jersey, speaking on behalf of the Civic Club of Riverton, East Riverton, and Palmyra. Renee has just informed me that I took my notes wrong because Mr. Seacrest was talking about Taylor's Lane. Am I correct?
Yeah, I
And of course,
landing, so I
and
knew I
of
had the
course,
text right.
I took the notes incorrectly and I wrote Union Landing.
Union Landing.
And we all know that every time that I come, my first thing I want to talk about is how soon we're going to get the sidewalks in. Now, I do understand, because Mr. Barbadoro was gracious enough to keep me informed. However, I need to keep the Civic Club members informed, and I don't want them to think that we're stalling. So any more new updates on when we'll see it started working on? Hopefully soon, like maybe.
We're still designing it. We do have to submit to the state for an approval. So, we're looking at best case starting in the fall, worst case starting in the spring.
Okay, just a little side note. I would like to know if there's any chance that we may get it done before I die.
Let's hope so.
Yeah. And I'm just saying that because I want you to know, of all the members that are sitting up there, I'm older than all of you. So it is a concern. Okay, the next thing is there any chance the Civic Club could get a free trash can? We have one that was issued to us, yes. Is there any chance that we could get a free one? It could be slightly damaged, but it would be something that the new trash collectors would pick up. We had purchased 2 of our own on the outside before, but we were informed from Kevin that we are no longer able to use those because they are not authorized to pick them up. So I'm just asking. Maybe you could table it or
Yeah.
think about it before the next meeting. Or
Kevin, do we have any up there?
extra?
Do we have them up there?
We do have, yes.
Okay. Why don't we table that? Talk about it.
Okay.
So was that like
Let's look into this and we'll
Okay.
let you know.
And thank you so much for that. And let's see what else I have here. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Renee Oler Davis, 2108 Hunter Street. I wanted to know if Cinnaminson has any cooling stations for people in this heat who may not have air conditioning or anything like that. And if Cinnaminson doesn't, are there any in Burlington County?
I don't believe Cinnaminson does, and I wouldn't be sure about anywhere in Burlington County, but we can certainly look into that with this heat.
Thank you. And
Eric?
I suggest
I'm sorry, go ahead.
that we don't use that company again, who are supposed to be putting up the awnings in the park.
That's a fair suggestion.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ben Young, 116 Woodview Lane. Thank you.
Got a new street, didn't you?
I did. You did it today, so I could say that tonight, right? They paved it this morning. They laid milled for a week and a half, but today they showed up to pave.
Yeah.
The only other thing I have a comment, I don't know what you guys can do about waste management, but that is an embarrassment what they did on Union Landing Road. They sent that guy up there the other night to cut, and I saw him like Friday night. He's not even close to the curb. He's left weeds all along the curb. It is a mess, and it's ridiculous. I mean, these people can certainly afford to do that. They mow the inside of the damn place all the time. The other thing is they haven't touched Taylor's Lane, and you're going to go up there and start to work. And that thing's overgrown way worse right now than, well, not worse, because about the same as it was on Union Landing. You really need to come down. And as I said to Kevin before, look, send him a note and then cut it, and send him a bill.
Okay, I
We
do know
used
they
to
have.
do that all the time for residential stuff.
Yeah, we do.
Just send them a notice, and if they don't get their butts out there to do it, cut it and bill them.
Okay, that's fair.
Because it's
that sounds
embarrassing.
reasonable.
What they did is criminal. Thank you.
All right, thanks, Ben.
Thank you,
Thank
Ben.
you.
Ms. Davis, just to get back to you on the New Jersey cooling centers, that's what they're calling them, cooling centers. So there's a list on one of the New Jersey state websites, and it lists our library as one of the cooling centers. And it really lists libraries throughout the county as cooling centers.
Thanks. I didn't realize that. Well, we learned something today.
Mike Goins, 100 Purnell. Mr. Horner, since you brought up Longs, does anybody know about the truck that's been there for a month? It was down in Delran, moved from one of the empty gas stations in Delran to this one up here. So it's
I'm
an
sorry,
old
what-
state or county dump truck, big one. It's been
Where
there for
is
a
this
month.
currently?
At Longs.
On Longs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I saw it, yeah.
So I don't know who's
We're aware of it.
We'll find
dumped
out.
it there or
Yeah,
not.
we are aware of it.
You didn't mention anything about Mr. McGill for Morgan for June, and I know there was at least 2 calls, and the officer did respond, talked to one of the residents at the time, so I don't know that you didn't get that information. Last thing I have...
I'll
pardon
find
me?
out and have it next time we come.
Okay. Last thing I have to say, and I don't want to talk about the ordinance introduction, but does anybody know if Cinnaminson Sewage Authority is looking at their acreage down there and how low it is and the floods and all that type of thing?
I'm sorry, where?
Cinnaminson Sewage Authority.
Oh,
Yeah, because I know they had flood problems when everybody else did, so that's going to affect all residents. Does anybody know if they're looking to do anything?
I don't know that they are looking into it. That would probably be a question better asked to the Sewage Authority themselves.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Two things I forgot. You're not rid of me yet. One, I want to commend that officer who, out of the kindness and goodness of his heart, did that for that young man. I mean, I think that is a great thing. And number two, I had forgotten about Union Landing. I like to make Union Landing my special project because it is not very nice looking in most spots. And there are people who should be doing better. Not only do they need to cut grass and weeds, but they need to cut down some of the weed trees and have them further back. And there's no reason some of these companies couldn't plant decent shrubbery. I think they probably make enough money where they could afford a little bit of shrubbery. So I would really appreciate assistance on that because you are the people who can get that done. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Right. Seeing no one else come forward, may I have a motion to close public comment?
I'll make that motion, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. Segrist. I will second that. Voice vote, please. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Nays? Abstentions? Okay. Committee comment. Do we have any comments from committee members this evening?
No, sir.
Nothing further, sir.
We good?
No, sir.
No, not tonight.
That's quiet. All right, and last but not least, may I have a motion to adjourn?
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Thank you, Mr. McGill. May I have a second?
I will second.
Thank you, Ms. Cravel. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Nays? Abstentions? Meeting is adjourned. Next meeting is Monday, August 5th, 2024 at 6:30 PM.